Days of Our Lives and Leo's descent into darkness in the ever-turbulent town of Salem, where secrets are as common as the morning sunrise. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, delivers another heart-stopping twist that threatens to unravel the fragile bonds of love and trust. At the center of this storm are Javi Hernandez, a newcomer seeking a fresh start, and Leo Stark, a man wrestling with his checkered past. Their budding romance, once filled with promise, faces its greatest challenge yet with the unexpected arrival of Javi's wife, Elena, and their young daughter, Sophia. Her desperate plea for Javi to return home sends shockwaves through Salem, pushing Leo to the brink and threatening to awaken the villain within him. As Gwen Rizika's warnings echo in the background, this gripping saga explores love, betrayal, redemption, and the fragile hope of forgiveness. A love blossoming amidst chaos. Javi Hernandez arrived in Salem seeking solace after the death of his mother, Hilda, finding comfort in the warmth of his cousins, Gabby and Rafe. It was at a celebratory night out that Javi's path crossed with Leo Stark's, sparking an instant connection. Despite Gabby's warnings about Leo's notorious reputation, Javi saw something different, a man capable of change, with a heart yearning for love. Their chemistry was undeniable, marked by flirty banter outside the Brady pub and a night that hinted at something deeper. Together, Javi and Leo embarked on an unexpected journey, fostering a baby boy, Tesoro, the son of Sophia Choi, Rachel Boyd, and Tate Black, Leo Howard. The couple, along with Rafe, embraced the challenge of caring for the infant, whom they nicknamed Tasto, in a playful nod to his precious nature. Javi, with his steady demeanor and EMT training, proved a natural caregiver, while Leo, often seen as self-centered, surprised everyone with his tenderness. Scenes of Leo cradling Tesoro, singing lullabies to soothe his cries, revealed a softer side that even Gabby begrudgingly acknowledged. Javi's belief in Leo's potential as a father fueled their bond, painting a picture of a family in the making, a nursery filled with hope, love, and dreams of a shared future. The ghost of Leo's past. But in Salem, the past is never far behind. Leo's history is a tangled web of schemes and betrayals, from his role in breaking up Will Horton and Sonny Kiriakis to his affair with Dimitri von Leuschner, which shattered his friendship with Gwen Rizik. Gwen's recent return to Salem, flaunting the stolen Horton family necklace, stirred old wounds. She confronted Leo, her words dripping with venom as she reminded him of his disloyalty. "You betrayed me, your best friend," she spat, her voice cutting through the cafe where Leo and Javi sat with Tesoro. Javi, witnessing the exchange, was shaken, his trust in Leo tested as Gwen warned him of the man's treacherous nature. Leo, desperate to hold on to Javi, bared his soul, confessing to past sins, though not all. He admitted to betraying Gwen and others, his voice breaking as he explained how his abusive father and manipulative mother, Diana Colville, Judith Chapman, shaped his flawed choices. "I wasn't raised right," he told Javi, his eyes pleading for understanding. "But with you, I want to be better." Javi, though hurt by the revelations, chose love over judgment, seeing in Leo a man striving for redemption. Their bond deepened as they cared for Tesoro, with Javi praising Leo's nurturing side. "You've got the heart to be a great dad," Javi said, his words a lifeline for Leo's fragile hope. A shocking arrival upends everything. Just as Leo and Javi settled into their new reality, a bombshell landed in Salem. Elena Martinez, Javi's estranged wife, arrived at the Hernandez household, her eyes red from tears and her young daughter, Sophia, clinging to her side. The sight stunned Gabby and Rafe, who had no inkling of Javi's hidden family. Elena's voice trembled as she begged Javi to return to Corpus Christi, to the life they'd built before he fled to Salem after his mother's death. "Sophia needs her father," she pleaded, holding up the 4-year-old girl whose wide eyes mirrored Javi's own. "We need you." The revelation hit Leo like a freight train. He stood frozen in the Hernandez living room, Tesoro asleep in his arms, as Elena's words echoed. Javi, married? With a daughter? The man who'd spoken of fresh starts and authentic love had kept this monumental secret. Leo's heart, already scarred by betrayal, began to fracture. Javi's explanations tumbled out. He and Elena had been separated for over a year, their marriage strained by his grief and her demands. He'd come to Salem to escape, to find himself, never expecting to fall for Leo or take on Tesoro. I didn't know how to tell you, Javi admitted, his voice heavy with guilt. I thought I could leave it all behind. Leo's descent into darkness for Leo, the betrayal was a wound too deep. Memories of his mother's lies and his own past betrayals flooded back, whispering that he was unworthy of love. Gwen's warnings, once dismissed, now rang true. Had Javi been playing him all along? The pain twisted into anger, and Leo's old instincts, the cunning, scheming side he'd fought to bury, began to resurface. He stormed out, leaving Javi with Elena and Sofia, his mind racing with plans to protect himself and Tesoro. In the days that followed, Leo's behavior grew erratic. He lashed out at Gabby, accusing her of knowing about Javi's wife and keeping it from him. He confronted Gwen, demanding she stop poisoning Javi against him, only to be met with her cold retort, "You're your own worst enemy, Leo." His work at The Spectator, where he transitioned from gossip columnist to investigative reporter, suffered as he became consumed with proving Javi's deceit. Whispers of Leo digging into Javi's past. Contacting old colleagues in Corpus Christi, searching for proof of infidelity or abandonment, spread through Salem, painting him as the villain once more. The custody battle and Leo's breaking point. The drama escalated when Tate Black, Tesoro's biological father, learned of the child's existence and launched a custody battle. Leo and Javi, still fostering Tesoro, faced the prospect of losing him. Leo's desperation to keep their makeshift family intact pushed him further into darkness. He began manipulating documents, hinting to social workers that Tate was unfit, even planting doubts about Javi's stability by revealing his hidden marriage. "If I can't have Tesoro, no one will," Leo muttered to himself, his eyes glinting with a familiar scheming spark. Javi, torn between his love for Leo and his duty to Sofia, pleaded with him to stop. "This isn't you," Javi said, grabbing Leo's arm as he caught him rifling through legal papers. "You're better than this." But Leo, feeling betrayed by both Javi and fate, pulled away. "You lied to me," he hissed. "You made me believe we could be a family." The confrontation ended with Leo vowing to fight for Tesoro alone, his actions threatening to destroy the trust they'd built. Gwen's warning and the path to redemption. Gwen, watching from the sidelines, saw Leo's spiral and felt a pang of guilt. Despite her anger, she remembered the friend Leo once was. She cornered Javi at the Brady pub, her tone softer but firm. "Leo's broken, but he's not beyond saving," she said. "If you love him, don't give up on him." Her words echoed Gabby's reluctant admission that Leo had changed, that his love for Javi and Tesoro was real. Even Chad DiMera, once a victim of Leo's schemes, noted his efforts to make amends, suggesting Salem might yet forgive him. As Elena's presence lingered, Javi faced a choice. Return to his old life or fight for the one he'd built with Leo. In a heart-wrenching scene, he sat with Sofia, explaining that he loved her but needed to be true to himself. Elena, seeing his resolve, agreed to co-parent from afar, leaving Javi free to stay in Salem. He turned to Leo, who stood at a crossroads. Would he embrace the love and forgiveness offered, or let his pain turn him into the villain Gwen feared? A fragile hope for the future. The Days of Our Lives storyline leaves viewers on edge, wondering if Leo can overcome his demons. His journey, marked by a troubled upbringing and a yearning for acceptance, resonates deeply. Javi's love, Tesoro's innocent trust, and even Gwen's cautious hope offer a path to redemption, but only if Leo can forgive himself. As Salem braces for more drama, one thing is clear: the battle for love, family, and forgiveness is far from over. Stay tuned to Days of Our Lives on Peacock to see if Leo can rise above his past or if his darker impulses will prevail, tearing apart the family he's fought so hard to build. In part 2 of this video, let's get to this plot. Does EJ have to worry about Tony? A DiMera family power struggle unfolds on Days of Our Lives. Welcome back, longtime Days of Our Lives fans. As we continue into part 2 of this dramatic arc, we're diving deep into a question that has serious implications for the legacy of the powerful DiMera family. Should EJ DiMera be worried about his own brother, Tony? For those who've followed this iconic soap for decades, the tangled web of loyalty, betrayal, and ambition among the DiMeras is nothing new. But what's happening now may shake the very foundation of the family, and challenge even the most devoted viewers to pick a side. Let's unpack what's really going on between EJ and Tony, and why this sibling rivalry could turn into a full-blown war. A suspicious phone call sparks concern. The scene opens with EJ on the phone in the privacy of the DiMera living room. His voice is calm, calculated. He's speaking to Rita, a trusted associate, and confirms that the package has been received. Just as he hangs up, Tony DiMera enters with his usual flair, offering a cheerful greeting and asking what EJ is up to. EJ, ever the smooth operator, brushes it off. He tells Tony that Rita was simply running an errand for the hospital. But Tony, who has seen more than his share of deceit, doesn't buy it. Rita may be loyal, but she's loyal to both of them. And Tony knows a cover-up when he hears one. What exactly is the package? What is EJ hiding? And why is he using hospital business as a front? The ghosts of the past, Kyriakis versus DiMera. Their conversation quickly shifts from suspicion to strategy. Tony, visibly frustrated, brings up a sore subject: when Philip and Xander Kyriakis wrestled control of DiMera Enterprises away from the family. It's a betrayal that still burns, one that would have Stefano DiMera, their formidable father, turning in his grave, as Tony puts it. Tony isn't content to wait for the Kyriakis brothers to fail on their own. He's ready to go on the offensive. His plan? Find someone inside the company to betray them. Someone who can sabotage Philip and Xander from within and pave the way for the DiMeras to retake what they believe is rightfully theirs. EJ, however, is skeptical. If Tony doesn't want to run the company himself, what's the point of all this plotting? Power without ambition? Tony makes it clear, he doesn't want to run DiMera Enterprises. That's not the issue. The company needs to return to DiMera hands for the sake of legacy and honor. But therein lies the problem. If Tony doesn't want it, who will step up? Kristen, as we all know, burned every bridge on her way out. Stefan is missing, possibly dead, though no one dares say it out loud. And EJ himself? He's neck-deep in his son Johnny's legal battles. So, who's left? Enter Johnny, heir to the throne or legal liability? EJ floats the idea of giving control to his son, Johnny. Tony raises an eyebrow. While he adores Johnny, he doesn't see him as corporate material. Johnny is too impulsive, too unseasoned, and now he's tied up in a legal mess that could land him behind bars. Still, EJ defends his son fiercely. I know Johnny will get through this, he snaps. And it's here we see a father's love override reason. EJ believes in Johnny, and what's more, he's actively working behind the scenes to make sure his son walks free. This is when the real tension starts. Andre's warning. Don't meddle, EJ. Andre, always the cool and calculated observer, senses EJ's desperation. He warns him, stay out of Johnny's legal case. Any interference will be noticed. The trial is already under intense scrutiny, and if EJ tries to manipulate the outcome, it could blow up in his face, and hurt Johnny even more. EJ listens, politely. He thanks Andre for the advice. Then he ignores it entirely. "I'll handle the trial," he says flatly. "You handle DiMera." It's a quiet but chilling declaration. EJ is staking out his turf, and he's not backing down. Brother against brother, seeds of division sow. What does all of this mean? Is Tony a threat to EJ, or a reluctant ally? Is EJ playing a dangerous game that could cost him both his company and his son's freedom? What's becoming increasingly clear is that the DiMera brothers are heading down different paths that may collide in devastating fashion. Tony wants to restore the family's name and regain control of the company. EJ wants to protect his son and hold on to power, no matter what it takes. And Andre? He's caught in the middle, seeing danger from both directions. What comes next? If you've watched Days of Our Lives long enough, you know this kind of sibling tension can only lead to one thing: betrayal. Will Tony go behind EJ's back to install a new leader at DiMera? Could he convince someone else? Maybe a surprise character from the past, to take the reins? Or will EJ's interference in Johnny's trial come back to haunt them all? There are so many questions left unanswered. But one thing's for certain, the DiMera family is heading for a reckoning. Final thoughts for our longtime viewers. For fans who've been watching for decades, this storyline calls back to the glory days of Stefano's rule, when the DiMeras were both feared and respected. The legacy he built is now hanging by a thread, caught between a son who's obsessed with justice and another who's trying to save a crumbling empire. As this power struggle unfolds, don't blink. The next move could shift everything. So, does EJ need to worry about Tony? Absolutely. And he'd better act fast, because in Salem, family can be your strongest ally, or your most dangerous enemy. Stay tuned.